My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero. Episode 6. The assassin fights a demon. Oh, we saw this coming, so let's talk about it. Welcome back, Event. So we're talking about my status as an assassin, and this is the assassin fights a demon this time around, which we already kind of saw going from the last episode. Even though he expended a bunch of his life force trying to do so, that's why he is recovering in the beginning of this episode. He is laid out, and it's from using too much mana when he kind of bursts out with his shadow magic. Honestly, what people have been saying is true. This show has been moving extremely fast for a lot of reasons. Is it bad? No, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's moving quickly. Not sure the reason why, but it's moving. Um, he completely used the big shadow burst and then passed out. Have no idea reason why he did that. He sent his familiar knight away, who was immediately back at his side because he used the burst to get away. So not sure what the purpose was that was, but his life force is dwindling, and the shadow magic auto activates to heal him from his reserve mana stores to get him right. Now, during the process of this, he is, of course, taken back to Crow's place. He has been out for about 30 hours over the time and been taken care of roughly by Night and by Crow. And while he is eager to get out there and figure out what's going on and save Amelia, Crow has to shut him down and be like, "Hey, yo, you are not even ready. You don't have no weapons equipped. You ain't got nothing. Like, where do you think you're going? You're about to just go charge into the demon realm because you freaking feel like it? No, let's get it together." So he's like, "I have your stuff for you. I covered the cost of everything, so you don't got to repay me right now. Pay me back later. But here's everything." And he's like, you broke my sword. Like he's like, I split it into two. Like it's short swords are a lot easier for you to wield as an assassin as opposed to anything else. So it looks like he's got some other goodies, some braces, and he has the two short swords now. So everything looks good, looks clean. He's ready to go. So he's like, all right, well, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? And he ends up giving a ring, and this ring has like a guiding light on it. So think kind of like video game RPGs. You don't know where to go. You activate a little button that says, "Hey, go this way." That's more or less what it is. It leads him to wherever he wants to go, whatever he desires most. So as of right now, Amelia is what he desires most, so it's going to lead him to her. So he is on the way to the labyrinth because that's where the ring confirms that she is at. While this is going on, Aurum is back there gloating about how he has a demon monster spell that allows him to control all these monsters and stuff, but it also allowed him to immobilize Amelia. So it works on elves to a certain degree. Now she can still speak and she still has her own, I guess, free thoughts with that, but she is physically immobilized by this spell, so she can't go anywhere. Now keep in mind, she's been missing for about 30 hours, right? Since you passed out. So she's been immobilized for 30 hours, quite a bit of time. Orin reveals that he's only a second grade, so the only reason he hasn't left yet is because he cannot do teleportation magic. I'm sorry, he's a third grade. He needs a second grade to do teleportation magic. So he can't go anywhere until a second grade basically comes to pick him up. So he's waiting on daddy to pick him up. With that being said, gonna be the third grade, he's just kind of stuck. So we cut back to Akira, who is making his way to the labyrinth, and he is actually joined by a beast girl. Now, it's the girl we saw earlier in the brown cloak. She's been kind of stalking him, more or less. Couldn't find out she is a beast girl who has a scent tracker skill, which allowed her to track Amelia, allowed her to track him, figure out where he's going, because she needed to find him and she wants to help. Her name is Leah Lagoon, and she is the first princess of the beast folk of Uruk. So it was like, okay, we got some more royalty now. So he's out here collecting princesses and such. So she knew the Demon Lord's plan to go after Amelia, but he wasn't aware of any of this. So he's just kind of going to go along the flow. So when Leah she explains all this stuff to him, he's just like, okay, well, are you telling the truth? Let me use these like what's it called, world eyes, I believe, to kind of see into or see what's going on. So he sees that yeah, she's telling the truth, and she actually has another skill, and it's some kind of spirit barrier that she has. And he's asking how she works. It's like it's kind of not like a regular barrier, but it's more of a mobile barrier. She can put it on objects, on things, on people, whatever the case would be. So it's like, okay, it may come in handy. All right, I got to go and figure out why she's being captured. And we found out the reason why is because the Demon Lord wants her resurrection magic that we found out about a couple episodes ago. She has the ability to resurrect. She can only use it every so often, probably every couple of days and stuff. So something needs to happen. They need it for some reason. Somebody's hurt or on the verge of dying or have already died, and they need the resurrection magic now, which is why people are being sent after. So that being said, we end up cutting back to Orm, who's sitting there teasing Amelia, and we find out that demons are almost immortal, like they're very hard to kill, and they want the resurrection magic for a particular reason. And we're trying to find out why. Like, if you're so close to immortality, why do you need resurrection magic? Like, is that just the off chance that you might actually die, and then we just need to bring you back real quick? Like, what's going on? So we end up finding out that Leah's family, so this is backstory while they're kind of traveling into the thing. Leah's family was abducted by a dark slime. You remember, Amelia was abducted by a slime. So it was abducted by a dark slime, and Leah was adopted by the royal family after the entire village was taken by the slime. So her mother, her father, her brother, everybody was taken. And again, this village is not the only case. There were more cases as taken. We find out that the king's summoning ritual to summon the heroes is where everyone going. So apparently the slime's been taking people, I guess taking them back to some location, and then the king activates the summoning ritual, which needs X amount of bodies, souls, freaking life force, whatever, and takes it to summon the heroes from another world. It was like now we know what he's up to. Now we know what he's after, like or what he's been doing. We don't know what he's after specifically, but we know how he's been doing it. What's been going on? He's been using the life force of people in his country to summon heroes from other countries for some odd reason. Maybe to, defeat the demon lord and usurp power from everything, like rule over everything. Not quite sure. I'm speculating. So just roll with it right now. So they get to the labyrinth entrance and they find out, of course, they got to defeat a certain number of monsters before the steps activate. And Knight's like, you know what? I'll handle this because you need to save your magic for the big boss fight ahead. So I'll transform and start taking care of people, but I'm probably gonna lose control. Might hit you a couple times. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So either way, Knight's like, all right, we be doing it. So Knight's running them fades on everybody. And while this has happened, Akira, who's of course trying not to exhaust himself, is just standing by, but calling out to Knight to keep Knight's sanity in check, I guess, or whatever, to keep Knight there without going berserk. So as long as he's able to talk, he's like, okay, well, tell me about the story about the demon lords and kind of what happened while this rampage is going on. You find out that the demon lords, the first demon lord, apparently came into power and just attacked all the nations, and that's why everybody's got this natural hate. So it's like this preconceived hatred for all the demon folk because of what happened several, you know, X amount of years ago. I don't know how long it was, but it's an eternal grudge against the demons. Everybody's kind of against the demons, but everybody works under their own. Humans are over here, beast folk over here, elves are over here. We also find out that freaking again, some humans are working more or less as they're some type of workers for a lot of beast folk. Don't know the particular status of that, but hey, well, maybe we'll find out more on that later on. Now, we found out that the current demon lord's wife was killed by someone trying to make a name for themselves, and this was happening during the course of the current. I think the current king's reign over the last couple thousand years or so, give or take. And this is why I'm assuming the resurrection magic is needed because the wife was taken out. So again, maybe they have X amount of time to resurrect her. Does resurrection magic, is there a time limit on it in terms of how long someone has to be, you know, out before they can get resurrected, or they have X amount of time before the resurrection no longer works? Not quite sure, but obviously Demon King's and Demon Lord, Demon King, Demon Boy's in a rush to get hold of Amelia. Of course, Akira and crew finally show up to see Orm, and they get to scrapping, and Orm is, tearing them up. Like he's got blood splattering all over the place from Akira because he's landing hits and Akira's not getting nothing in. But Akira ends up activating his shadow magic, while Leah ends up activating the barrier to protect Amelia during the entire fight. So shadow magic activated. He ends up making these shadow beasts. So it's like shadow wolves that come out and start attacking and basically throwing Arm off his game, which allows Akira to come in and get some good hits and stuff and basically take him down to his knee. Honestly, it seems kind of forced because it's like with all that stuff going on, it's like I hit you in like your knee, your shin, your Achilles, maybe something like that, whatever. Drop him down to a knee, but I didn't see any real kind of death blow or freaking like no really good hit, like kind of knock him out. So he just went down to a knee, and he's just kind of still talking trash the entire time. So it's like, all right, these dudes are pretty tough, and Akira needs to level up a whole lot more. He is not ready, but his shadow magic is leveled up. That's the thing. So uh, once he takes him down to a knee, of course, this guy gets on his, Dragon Zord kick and gets a flute and starts summoning. So we got freaking three monsters that show up, three of them huge beasts, looks like, big minotaurs and worm creatures or whatever. And they show up and they start dropping blasts onto Akira. But before they can hit Akira, we see that Leah ends up hitting like an inverted barrier. So that protects him and stops all the damage from coming to him. And then once they finish firing their blast, it deactivates, but it takes all three of their heads with them as it deactivates. So I'm like, that's pretty dope. So it was like a freak, go ahead, whatever damage you guess deal into it, maybe it deals it back or something to that effect. Not quite sure. Got to figure out how it works, but I like the skill. So bam, they're down and out, and Akira's like, all right, now I can finish you off. And the guy's like, you better hurry and finish me because I'm not gonna surrender. It's like you better hurry up before I recover. And like he's literally just taking a knee, like just take dude's head off and call it a day. But teleportation circle opens up and we have a second grade or whatever comes out, and it is someone named Mahiro, who has been apparently is the big boss of Arum here. So now he's here, he's on site, and Akira doesn't know what to do, and everybody's done because Knight is exhausted from all the battling that Knight was doing. So Knight's kind of passed out in the corner. I didn't mention that earlier, but Amelia's now kind of got control. She's up and walking around now, so she goes, of course, to Akira, and my hero is just kind of standing there like, got my fancy glasses on, got my suit on. I'm probably gonna freaking start taking you out. So I'm thinking that maybe Crow's gonna show up and save him. Maybe. I don't know. That's speculation at this point. So maybe Crow will show up and save him. I don't think they got any other chance in, you know, in Demon World. They're gonna make it out of here without having to fight this guy because he's literally gonna take. He looks like he's here to just take what he wants and going about his business. And that's the other thing. Apparently, Knight and Aurum freaking had a quick conversation about orders because apparently Knight was giving orders to lead, freaking Akira to the Demon Lord, where apparently Aurum has got orders to take the elf girl at no cost and get rid of the assassin. He's nothing but dead weight kind of thing. So it's like, okay, who's telling the truth, or like what did the Demon Lord say? Did the Demon Lord give him different orders and stuff like that and lie to Knight? Like what's going on? I think it's something to that case because I think Knight's loyalty is going to lean towards, Akira in the end, and it's going to be that the Demon Lord did something to lose favor with Knight, which is why Knight is going to lean more into Akira. So I don't know. That's all I got for this one. Freaking please make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button. Again, appreciate each and every one of y'all tuning in. Again, show is good. Show is fast. Like pacing, pacing, pacing. We just got to kind of watch and see where it goes. So that's all I got. Catch you guys in the next one.